Yep, we did it. So if somehow you're able to avoid hearing about this proxy for the last year or so, JPFans has been hitting a bunch of creators in terms of sponsorships. And obviously, out of curiosity, I wanted to try it out because when I saw people advertising it, it reminded me a lot of Superbuy. Mainly in terms of them providing you product images of when your item gets into their warehouse. That's what intrigued me the most because with Superbuy, they provide that stuff for free. So for JPFans advertising that, it was really enticing for me because I've actually kind of enjoyed that aspect, as it gave me a lot of like insurance of like, oh, okay, this item did come in and such. Because I know for buy, you had to buy that stuff, and obviously, I haven't used a Japanese proxy in a year because of obviously the tariff situation. So I've only been ordering off of. I have only been getting stuff from China for the last year or so because of the lines they provide, where you don't have to worry about paying for tariffs and such. But here's our order, or here's our box that I made up for JPFans. I should obviously point this out. This video is not sponsored, so I will not be providing an affiliate link or anything, just because if you want that, watch some other creators. I think they reuse the same link. Either way, so go to whoever your favorite creator is and support them. Unless they're a problematic person, then go to a different person. This took technically 11 days. This got shipped out on the 22nd. I prepared the package on the 21st, and then they gave me a quota of how much we had to pay. That's the one thing I will say is better than Superbuy, is that for the pre-packaging stage, you don't need to pay for it at all. Superbuy, you need to pay $3 for it. And it's like, yeah, I know it's $3, but at the same time, it's like, it's just not really worth it. But at the same time, it's just like, I think it's better for like people that obviously don't have a lot of funds to obviously probably pay the $3, so then you don't end up having to like pay like $80 for a thing and then get a refund of like $50 later. But I think things I'll get into before opening this. Actually, I'll try to remember. Let's move everything we have here and go to the review station. So one thing I'll bring up is that I think the tracking, in terms of tracking for your package, it sucks. The one on JPFans tends to get behind in terms of tracking, and it's very indescriptive. It's very bare. It doesn't tell you locations. It just tells you like, oh yeah, it departed. It arrived. It's going to this area and such. So it's at least doing that. But it's just not descriptive enough. It doesn't tell me like where exactly. Like, is it still in Japan? Is it in the States now? Like stuff like that. And even trying to go through, or I should say this, we shipped this via ECMS, which I know is what HLJ has been using since the last year. And again, this arrived pretty quickly. This was technically 11 days, because today is July 2nd? July 2nd. And shipping, oh, I think I'll get to the fee breakdown later, because I'll admit it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, and it's not as outrageous as what you might be hearing about this online and such. Because obviously there's been a lot of hoopla of like, oh, JPFans is a scam, but it's like, no, you just don't know how proxies work. Also, unfortunately, importing through Japan has obviously been a lot more expensive to do due to the tariffs and such. So, luckily JPFans is obviously working in their way of trying to improve directing that message to people, because I know a lot of content creators are doing so also. But again, this is not a sponsorship, I'm just simply showcasing my experience with this. So, again, I'm aware of this side because this is the side where they gave me a picture, or they sent one of 3 pictures of the package. So let's open our package up with our cloth knife. So, you know, so far it's taped really well. We have 3, alright, we have like 2 pieces of tape on each side, which is pretty good. And as you can tell, this is a really small box, just because a lot changed from what was originally supposed to be purchased. And it looks like they changed how this was supposed to be packed. Yes, this is upside down. So, here's our order right now. As you can tell, it's not technically the most packed. But I mean, there's a lot of bubble wrap at least, so that's good. So that's nice to know at least. It's different from the pictures they originally sent, but this makes more sense. I think I'm going to go back to the front already because this might fall. Okay, we are back. So, as you can see from here, it's opened and such. Hopefully it's lit alright. We finally have those lights. The lights for these rooms are back. So hopefully this looks good. I know we spoiled a lot of it, but we won't get into that. We won't get into the big thing, which technically wasn't originally. We would just say this right now. There's only 2 tokusatsu items in here. So we'll get through those right away. I don't want to just lay these on the ground. I'm going to use this green screen. So, first of all, I just do want to mention, I'm glad that they did use some sort of packing to secure, you know, my very small items. So then, you know, they don't just scatter and such. So I appreciate that, because again, from the pictures I was kind of worried that it was just like, oh, it's just going to be... Let's get to this one first, because this one was actually surprising. Some of these I picked up because I was originally going to get them off of Superbuy, but they were cheaper on JPFans. So our one half of a tokusatsu item is the Gojuger train game Sentai ring. I generally don't know, but as you can see here, unlike Bai, they, you know, instead of doing like the typical like paper bags, they do plastic and such. So, as you can see, this is how they wrapped it. And, okay, that was interesting how they did that. And as you can see from here, this is how they inventory the products and such. Because I still have a buy bag. Again, this is buy. They typically just put them in these things. And this is their sticker for inventory. This is JPFans' way. And this is their barcode for inventory. So obviously this one specifically is of the, okay, this one's not numbered. This is of the Decker Ranger boosted version version SP. Obviously because this one comprises of, oh, doesn't even come with an alternate ring piece, but this is obviously of the Decker Ranger Battleizer that you can barely see. Again, I'll try to have insert shots, but I picked this one obviously for most Power Ranger fans is like, yeah, of course you're gonna pick up the like item that is essentially from Power Rangers, but at the same time, Zrykin wanted this one, so I got this one for him, despite the fact this is Zrykin's money, by the way. But I picked this one up for him because it was only $6, I believe. But yeah, this one was kind of weird in terms of like messaging, because like, so the seller was, you can tell with how it is. Maybe they did this for my sake, but they originally, so the seller originally said that they're going to send it in folded and such, just for, obviously for their sake. And, you know, excuse me, JPFans, like, obviously messaged me about it, and I was like, hey, like, would you, like, are you fine with it folded? And I said, like, initial, like, I think I originally said, like, it would be nice if you could fold the box, or if you can keep the box like this, but, like, if it has to be folded, then I don't mind, or it's fine. And then, I guess they didn't get what I said, and then they, like, asked me again to, like, reaffirm, like, well, like, the box has to be folded, so are you okay with that? And I was like, yeah, that's okay. Sorry, I keep looking up here. This second item is the second most expensive item out of this. So, here it is. And if I were to open it up, where do I, so, here's that. I mean, it looks better in person, I guess. What? I got the Sentai Ring Gold Edition from, I don't remember. Was it 1986 through 1996? Because I think it goes by decade. But this is the individual release. This is what Bandai released alongside the big set. And these were lottery purchases, which is why this one was stupid expensive. Obviously, I picked up Card Ranger because I never got to pre-order the Cocker Ranger and Decker Ranger set. So, in a way, we did get that set in expensive means. I still intend on picking up that Sentai Ring set anyway, but obviously I just wanted this one just because it's like, if I had to have one gold version, it will be of Cocker Ranger. Because I feel like Cocker Ranger is kind of the only Sentai Ring design that is actually clever. Even though, like, there are some that are also clever, but again, if you don't know, I generally kind of don't care for the Sentai Ring, the normal Sentai Rings, because I don't like how inconsistent they are. Which is why I prefer the boosted versions, or even the polar rings. To which, I think the total of these two would have been the whole price for all four polar rings, or all four polar ring sets, but unfortunately that got sold out by the time I actually figured out what I wanted to get. So let's do a transition from Tokusatsu to the main majority of these photo cards. This is because of the fact that I decided, because it was released by the time we finally were able to get money into the account, I actually am deciding to collect the Yuta's playback cards, because it's not that hard of a collection to complete. So this is of the YT version. This is specifically YT01. I just realized, how am I going to do insert shots when I'm taking them out of the package already? So this is the horizontal, or like the landscape, one of the two landscape cards. Obviously I never got to pull it, so here it is right there. And then the second one that I got so awkward doing this on camera. In front of camera, mind you. This one sleeps pretty well. This comes from the YZ version. The ZY version of it. This is the other individual Zets card and such, to which will go well with the other, like, Gav and Valen card I had. So I got all of Zets' cards. I did see someone recently bring up how they were kind of disappointed with how JPFans handles cards, or handles doing the cards, because of the fact that it seems like they get rid of the most of the packaging and just solely you know, the cards and such, to which I think it's kind of fair to be upset on, because again, that's why I said it's kind of a relief that they actually did pack it. As, you know, plastic, I get, is not going to be enough to, like, hold a card together. So we just gotta check our other ones. So the next two were cards. This is another case of, I originally found these on Superbuy. The prices were kind of iffy. And then I found them on JPFans through, I should say this, all of this is through Mercari Japan. I found them on Mercari Japan for, like, actual decent prices. So I got myself 2 unit cards of Garu and Liz. I think their ship name is Garbies? Don't I still have it bookmarked? Because someone literally made an entire diagram. Yeah. I found it. This is what it is. So we had to go from this. It's. I have to try to read it mirrored. Garbies. Garbies. And it's. Oh, I mean, they at least explain it. So it's just. It's just their names combined. Thank you, infograph. Wasted so much time on that. So I'm opening this one because this one arrived first, even though this was just last year, I think, I believe. This is a unit card for I've Scout. I think I plan on getting their individual cards. I don't know, but this was actually super cheap. I don't know why it's inconsistent. I probably obviously should say this too, because it's the nature of most of these cards, because of them being not album specific cards. So we have to play the game of, hey, I don't know. Again, I generally don't know, but I'm actually really happy to own these two cards now. So these are, I think from my read, the Tokyo venue unit cards for their second Japanese mini album for Alive. I think it's fun once in a while getting unit cards and such, especially because I do like these two. But we'll pull one out, and I mean, I don't know. This is actually going to be my first Japanese I've card, but it seems thicker. And I don't. The print quality, like, looks fine. Nothing seems off about it. Because I've been seeing a lot of, like, especially on the ESPA end of just like, oh, like, hey, at this person, did I get a legitimate card? And then, like, they'll go out of the way, like, pointing out, like, all, like, the little differences. But I feel like this is legitimate and such. So I'm not too worried about that. We should check I've Scout. Playback, we're fine. There's barely any listings for playback, actually. But in terms of playback, I was actually kind of lucky to even find listings of individual cards, because it doesn't look like too many people are buying it up, despite the fact I'm aware it's doing well in the charts. I'm sure this one's legitimate. I can see where it was, like, pulled from the, like, I can tell that it was pulled from, like, the, like, card cutters. And this one actually is uneven. I don't know how well I can show this, but this one's actually cut up here. The card cutter, like, actually cut this one deep. Or not deep, but, like, there's, like, you can tell it was imperfect and such. So maybe that's why this card was super cheap. And, like, you can tell, like, too, like, you can pull the side from here. So, like, yeah, this is legitimate and such. I think this will go in my apathy section. Empathy, apathy. Because it's close to there. This will probably this will be in between, because I still have yet to get any other Japanese cards yet. Even though I do want to, but I'm just still, like, holding back. So for this to be consistent still, we will jump into the second batch, and we will start with one that actually got canceled for me, but I did end up finding another listing for it, which is of... Finally, I got a Union card, to which I'm happy about, because I really do want to start collecting her, and this was like a card I wanted. This card originally got canceled on me when I did my first batch. Then I found this listing. Actually, I think I had this listing as a backup. So here it is. This is specifically an album card from the orange version of Bon Voyage, which is pretty cool. Or Apocalypse from Us, the 8th mini album, as it shows on the back. But this is really nice. I don't know when it will start, but I do really want to try to start a collection of her, because she's my favorite from Dreamcatcher. But I think that might mean that I have the attribute for UAU. I know they just came back. I still need to actually listen to their songs though. And so that leads us to some oddities. So because I got the Union card, I was like, so if you don't recall, we have like our first page on our second binder that is just of like whatever groups. We have, I'm gonna look up her name again, because I didn't get chastised, but like I was like asked like, why do you pronounce her name as Chewy? And it's like, I don't know, that's what Google says. And my sister's like, just pronounce it in like the Korean way. I'm like, yeah. Maybe it's because I was pronouncing it as in a literal like Chewy, but it's supposed to be like Jewy, which makes more sense. Jewy. That makes so much sense than Chewy. Google. Anyways, I decided to get a Etsy card. I think this one might be the most expensive card out of the whole. It was like $6. Obviously, this is excluding fees, mind you. So, I decided to get Pops for these two because it's not like I'm going to get an album from them. But this is of Cherryon. This is the Everline Pov from Born to Be, because Untouchable is the only song of ITZY I enjoy, and I really like this look of her, so I wanted a card of it. At first I was skeptical, because I was like, this doesn't look like it, but at the same time I was like, I think it's just because she unlatched her choker, so it's close enough. I don't know if I'm going to bother getting the entire set, because even though I do like these outfits, I think it will be kind of weird, because obviously Leah wasn't in this comeback, so it would just be weird to collect one Soul ITZY set without a member. But then again, I have like 5 sets of Baby Monster without Rami. This protector has plastic that wasn't taken off. That's interesting. Next up, I think might be the most random pick. I think this one might be more random because I haven't publicly shown interest. ITZY I technically did if you saw the video edit compilation 2025. But here's Eugen of Kepler, or I knew her as from CLC. So Why can't I take this one out? So, this is a music and drama POV. I don't know what that store is, but I got this card because it was cheap. And it feels very... It definitely feels rounder. But, I like it. Because I really do like their recent comeback, Killa. So I wanted some representation of Eugen. I think I was originally going to get like an entire set, but I was like, that it's not worth it. It's like, it wouldn't be smart for me to do that. So I just settled with this soul pop. So these two will join the front page of the second binder. So before we get into the last thing from that second batch, let's go back to the first batch and cover the most expensive thing. Another version of the SM Town 2025 30th anniversary album. Okay, yeah, this one definitely is. So, you're gonna see this next year. At the beginning of the year, I initially did get one off of Superbuy, but then I was on the fence with it from the beginning because it looked sketchy. It looked off, and like, because I was like, why does it look so yellow? And then when I did cover it, you know, like, immediately, a comparison, like, this, like, the way the plastic is wrapped around, it doesn't feel bubbly or anything, and then, like, when I opened it, the cards looked off, and then the biggest thing was that the music card didn't read on the Nemo's app, which was a bummer, because, like, I really like this album overall. I really thought it was really smart for them to do a company-wide, like, for all the groups under the company to do covers of each other's songs. I thought that was really cool and unique for a 30th anniversary album. And obviously, I wanted to own some form of this. And obviously, I wanted to get this one specifically because this one comes with cards for every single participating artist. And on top of that, they're AR cards. So, it comes with, like, 68 cards, like, photo cards. So, basically, you get, like, 68, like, AR, like, features and such. But, like, immediately, looking at this, like, the box is so much cleaner. It's so much more clear. It's not yellow. And it's like, yeah, paying the extra $9 for this as opposed to me. So, yeah, this was $18. The one I got off of Superbuy was like $9. So it's like an extra $9 makes a difference. But that means I own two of these. I own a legitimate one that I can finally film a review for after a year, and an illegitimate one. The thing though is that I already filmed the page through for the illegitimate one, so I will re-record the page through with the legitimate one and then put out the illegitimate one later, because I actually have one that I can actually review now properly, because I originally wanted to review this for my birthday last year. You're gonna hear this another 2 times. I originally wanted this to be my birthday written review for last year. However, it got delayed, and then when it actually did get into the States, my package got seized because it was not recorded correctly, as it was recorded as an electronic item as opposed to, like, cards and such. So it got trashed. Luckily, my sister got refunded the money. We got it off of Amazon initially. So I am really glad that I finally got a legitimate version of this album. So then I can finally officially own it in some way. Because then I was originally going to like just throw my arms up and be like, I'm just going to get the future version, the bulky 230 page one that comes with all the group photo cards and such. I was going to end up getting that one. That one's like $60. This one's an odd one that I decided to pick up. I finally got Tilt. Yeah, the pictures I got were just of solely the back side, but I think that's because the barcode's here. So, from what I'm aware about, this is new. I'm sure. I don't know. I don't think it is. This looks resealed if I had to be honest. I don't know. But it says it's first press exclusive. Which, I don't know. Because I feel like, isn't there a way to like, you know, reattach ripped plastic together? I don't know. This is making me feel skeptical. But I made sure to look through the description that this was new. I might be wrong, but I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical now because, like, well, because the thing too is that, okay, this might be legitimate because this spot here has like clearly the inclusions, but yeah, this is definitely just one I got on the whim. It's because, I mean, technically it was because I originally wanted, for Power 10, I wanted Elda to have this album because, you know, obviously in her first video, we did an album trade for Monster. So it was just like, well, it should have made sense for her to have their second mini album. But then I didn't have it at the time. And it was just like, it was cheap. So it was just like, sure, I'll get it. Despite the fact I'm still really behind on a lot of Red Velvet albums. I still don't have any of Irene's albums. I might get like a Flower because it was also for the same price, but it was just like, I wanted to get this one because, as I kind of insinuated before, I need to stop looking at the viewfinder. I need to look down here. But yeah, basically, you get a page through of this and this in the latter half of August. Because this video is getting released in August. So that leaves us with our last item. Why is it bored, you might ask? Because this one's going to be the first written review of 2026. This was the cheapest listing I was able to find of this item. I genuinely just found it on the whim because I needed to. It's got that new paper smell. Oh, that's an insert. No wonder why. I was like, why is this falling apart? I was like, oh, it's an insert. I needed a way to justify my order because the thing is that, so obviously I already had these 3 cards and I was on a budget of not $13, $30, because I already knew this thing was going to be the bulk of the package. So I didn't want to get anything to exceed the size of this to not break the bank. And like, I didn't really have too much more gimmicks to buy that were like, that fit the budget. So I decided to get this thing because I thought it would have been funny. This thing was super cheap. It was the cheapest listing I found for it, because the other listings were like for between like $4 to $7, but this one was like just like $2.50, which was like, oh, that's cool. I'm not sure if it's actually supposed to have any proper packaging. I don't even know if it was supposed to like be in like a poly bag or anything. But I just think this one would be funny to open up this year's written reviews on, as it's going to be like a nice callback to how it originally started. And, you know, it would be a way to introduce this thing to the channel. That is interesting. But, yeah, surprisingly, you can do a lot with this. Or not really, but you can do something with it. But, yeah, I only just got the one because I didn't need the entire set, or like what most of these listings were of like 2 of them. It's like, I didn't need that. I just want the one, especially because I still have not watched it at all. But I mean, like, it's nice quality. And this is technically going to be my first official piece of merch for this thing. It's really obvious what it is. But overall, I'm pretty satisfied with my JPFans order and such. Again, this is not sponsored, meaning even though, like, I have to clarify, this is not sponsored. I'm not providing an affiliate link. Go seek that out yourself. But, I'm pretty satisfied with this overall. It's been a year since I've ordered from a Japanese proxy, because I've stopped using buy since technically August, even though that got canceled. But I stopped using them because I've been hearing that their fees have been like skyrocketing, and it's just been pretty bad and such. And JPFans, I think, has kind of the same issue. I think the way they handle the Macari fees are definitely better, because they do allow you to order your stuff all together, and like the Macari fees aren't too bad. I think it's the procedure fees. I'm forgetting what they're called on the top of my head. Actually, I think I have a screenshot that I sent to the procurement fee, service fee, whatever that is. That fee is horrible. I don't know what it is, but like, it's essentially the fee that doubles the amount that you're buying, which is why I said before, despite that second batch being the 3 photo cards and the mysterious item that was $2, oh, that was $14. But in total, it was $28. But the thing too, that's because a thing I'm personally kind of bothered with that I never revealed yet is that despite, I don't know if this is the case of you get this if you buy it, but they kind of make you buy the value added service for the sake of your item being guaranteed like fine and such, which unfortunately, is also the other thing driving the total, like, amount of money you spend on an order up and such, because definitely without the value added service, I probably, with the second batch, I could have saved $7 from that. But like, you know, it's just the thing of like, well, you obviously want to make sure that your package is okay and that they, you know, slim down the packaging as much as they can to give you the most efficient, shipping price and such, because that's kind of the ultimate, I mean, that for me, that's been kind of like my ultimate goal that I adapted since Super Buy and such. Because I know with Buy at the time, I used to just be like, well, let's just get whatever to fill out the box and such. But like, I'm still kind of like that, but it's more so you need to be aware of like your range and such. So again, for example, to get like, I knew that I was going to get a box shipped in like a size like this because of the size of the tilt. Oh my god. So you just need to make sure you get stuff that will actually like fit in that box size. So then it doesn't, so then like, for example, if I got like a gimmick item, so if I got like a capsum set or something, like the DX ones, it could have fit in there, but if I ended up getting like, let's say if I actually ended up getting like 6 of those, for example, oops, it's too big now. Like, so you need to be careful of like stuff like that. Basically, you need to be aware of like the size of your box, so then you can like arrange of like, okay, what stuff can I get that will still fit in this box but won't break the bank and such. Which is why I opted just to get like, you know, cards for the most part, because it was going to be like, it was going to like fit with the budget and such. And yes, typically, I forgot to state this before, typically Draken and I would be, like, together we will, like, experience a, like, it'll be us together experiencing a new place and such, because that's been kind of a tradition for the most part. However, as you already have seen, Draken didn't really have much of an idea what he wanted to get and such, and I think he doesn't really, even though I told him, I don't think he's aware that the Decker Red Battleizer Sentai ring is his, so I'm gonna put it on his spot later, but just adding that. But yeah, so basically, again, as for a fee breakdown, so the first batch was about like 130. No, not 130. That's the total. It was 100 for the first batch of 8 items, and then we added another 4 items that was $30. So that's 130 worth of stuff I got. And then on top of that, I'm going to approximate it, because it was 46 for shipping, but I'm just going to say 50. So it was like, this box was about like $180 to ship, which, like, in total, which isn't bad, especially coming from Japan, because, and this is with the tariff included and such. I was actually genuinely surprised of how cheap the shipping was and such. Now, granted, I used a shipping coupon to get it from 53 to 46, and I think that's going to be kind of the detriment of JPFans for sure, is that because the site is still trying to work out a few things and is still not technically complete in terms of the reward side of things. There's not really any way to get coupons after you initially sign up. So, you're kind of in a rut right after either when your coupons expire or if you used them all. Because I really only decided to push through doing this box, I think, since the end of May, because my Mercari coupon was running out. And unfortunately, it ran out before Zrykin managed to get the fees working, because beforehand, it wouldn't let him put money in. But then after he just did it through his card as opposed to Google Pay, it worked and such. But at that time, the Mercari coupon expired, but apparently it's like, it's fine because it only goes in regards to the Mercari fee, not the actual price of the items and such. Because if we were able to get that Mercari fee in and that Mercari coupon in on time, this would have been a different haul. Because I forgot to explain this in the beginning. So originally, this was actually going to be strictly, it was supposed to be less items, and this was going to be strictly a Gojuger haul, because there was originally going to be the Universe Tegasword and the Polar Rings. Obviously, they teased an announcement for the Memorial Edition Universe Tegasword. I still have yet to get the CSM Ghost Driver, mind you. So I was like, great. Then I was like, well, I'll just get the Polar Rings then. The listing that I was originally hawking over, that got sold out. I luckily did find another listing. I think that also got sold out, but I don't know, people really want their Polar Rings. And then I was just like, oh, well, I can just go back to my second plan and like buying up this Ultraman Omega lot comprising of basically the first 2 quarters of toys, and it was like a really good deal because the price dropped to like under $40, but someone bought it. So it was just like, yeah, this haul definitely seems random because I was in a rut, because the stuff I initially had planned, people bought them up. So that's why we have the compromise of the Kaku Ranger Sentai Ring Gold Edition, because the Deca Ranger Battleizer mode was always planned, and the Yunhan Bon Voyage photo card was also planned, but everything else was just kind of like, sure, let's just throw this in. As Ryken will say, go wild. Now, I would like to do a follow-up video on like comparing, like an actual comparison video of Super Buy and JPFans, because in my opinion, I feel like both services are very similar to each other. However, due to the CPSC, or CS, the CPSC, yeah, those shenanigans, I think we're unfortunately going to have to lay low on importing to not risk our package getting trashed or seized because of like the HS code, not HS or HTC code, not like, flagging the system or flagging customs and such. And it's unfortunate because this weekend the Ultrazed Eye gets released, and it was like, I'm like excited for that thing. I'm just dreading how much like things they're gonna try to force us to buy, because I do not want to buy finals or figures that I don't need or just not interested at. Because Ryder finally wanted to ship out some stuff out of HLJ, but with that stuff going down in the next 6 days, to which my super buy package still wasn't here, so it's still that I had the panic ship that comprised of the Gavon Infinity Sentai Ring, the Chocolate Cold Gochuso, and the Ply version of I Have Empathy. Like, I had to panic ship that because of the, like, CPCS stuff. And it's like, saying, like, oh, it's estimated to get here by the 14th. And it's like, no, you can't do that. I need this here before the 8th. I don't want this thing to get seized. We've kind of derailed the conversation, so you should try out JPFans at your own risk. Again, this is kind of a bad time to, like, try to say, like, oh yeah, like you know, absolutely try it out, because again, you know, the customs are gonna try to seize these packages because of them not fitting the code, like HTC codes and such. Yeah, it's just really bad. But I mean, that's why it's like, at least I'm somewhat prepared. I've been somewhat prepared for it, but I know, like, Zrykin, that it's really bad for him because he still has like 10 pages of like private warehouse items he hasn't shipped out in a year, so sucks for him. They're trying to crack down on, you know, citizens of this country, like, importing. So just shop at your own risk, and hopefully your package smoothly gets to you and such. Because I do think, like, yeah, you can complain, or you can, like, make arguments in regards to, like, JPFans' like aggressive, like, marketing, but I do think they are a really promising proxy service. And again, like, what I just showcased so far, I'm pretty content, and I'm pretty optimistic of where they can go. Obviously, there are things that they can, like, improve on, but again, that's for time to I don't know what I was trying to say, but, like, they still have a lot of time, and hopefully they can expand to, like, other shops, because I think they still don't have Rakuten. If they have Rakuten, I think that would be, like, perfect, because I think for the latter half of when I was on Bai, I started just shopping on Rakuten because there are, like, certain stores, or I don't know if it's necessarily Rakuten or just Yahoo Shopping. I don't remember, but, or it's not called Yahoo Shopping anymore, but, like, still, like, they had, like, certain shops that will, like, sell toys on, like, huge discounts. For example, that's why Dragon has, like, 4 boxes per the Y medals, because they were, like, $2 a piece. And, like, you know, Rakuten, I think, will help me, like, pick up, like, certain items, like, you know, whenever I can get, like, myself a Super Best Ultra Ring or a V Buckle. I would like to be able to own those. But, other than that, again, it's just, we're in a weird predicament right now due to whatever they want to do with this country. So that'll have to do with this unboxing and video. This is Ryder, and I'll leave people. Bye. Addendum. It is August 12th, 2 days before this video was supposed to get released. So this is the second package from JPFans. However, you can tell it looks a bit different. I'm assuming it's just due to the box they used because of the item, the big item that's in here. I removed most of the transportation labels. I kept the labels that they use for the warehouse, but other than that, I wanted to get into quickly just of the differences, the changes they've made since I last recorded the main portion of this. First of all, they changed their package photos in the same way Superbuy gives them to you. So that makes it a lot more closer to home to me and more familiar with it, to weirdly put it. Second of all, they no longer are like forcing down on you to buy the inspections, but they do put in like a big warning of like if you don't pay for the inspections, then like your item obviously will not be checked and such. Oops. So we will be checking that in. So also the thing too is that this did take 10 days to get here, because I shipped this out basically 2 weeks ago. I don't think I got that. That didn't seem like it cut through. Okay. So that's an interesting way they just, I guess they always just pack their stuff like this. They just pack it in the reverse way, which is interesting. So, excuse me, we have overwrap. I'm pretty sure these are, oh right. They actually, ever since I've last gotten this, they have actually been including these cards, which is cool and such. You can't, I think anyone can use this one. I'm sure, but it's actually pretty cool that they're coming with cards now. So, admittedly, this one is smaller than what I wanted it to be, but it was just due to the factor of I really wanted to get this one out of the way. So, we'll actually get through this one first, which is what I actually ordered off of Amazon Japan, and was the only one I actually did pay for inspection for. Which, as you can see, it's just in their standard bag, if I can actually find what this is. So, oh, whoops. Sorry about that. So, I got the Tail Crystar, to which seems like they've already opened it. I wonder why, but they did tell me of like, oh, we had to remove something out of this. Like, we found batteries and like food items and such. So was that it? But yeah, unfortunately, I figured this was going to be the case. This was the campaign item for the Tail Crystar, which is the campaign panel, which comprises of two exclusive, they're not exclusive, two Cosmo records, which is obviously they're going off of what they've done for Zets with the Zets driver and the Nox driver. Now we can get into these. I think I can get into this one first. Because one of these was, I did not like the price I had to pay for, and the other one was like a huge steal. And as you can see, again, I did not pay for, in the technicality sense, I did not use Reagan's money to pay for the value services, because I did not think that was necessary. Especially because, again, it's still an on-current thing in regards to JPFans about the fact that they don't really protect the cards. So, as you can see, this is the Ultra Cosmo record campaign for the Ultrazed Eye. This is of the Ultraman Zero Junkin Battle Ultra Cosmo record card. Obviously, this was this is the campaign item for the Ultrazed Eye, which I've already had obtained 2 weeks ago. Obviously, HLJ was not going to do this unless they slipped it in and I didn't know, and I just wasted $12 of Draken's money. But we'll see about that. And then this one was a steal. If I can get it. This one I was actually really happy to have obtained, because I have not seen a listing on this since. But this is, wow, look at how nice that is. I didn't know Macari had this kind of packaging. That is really nice. But yeah, this is honestly kind of a beneficial thing of not paying for the value services. Obviously, you just won't get inspections. Well, you just will not have your item inspected, so obviously if you're like super cautious about it, then like go for it. But honestly, what I would recommend is if it's something flat like this, as I'm struggling to pull this out. Obviously for cases of like, if your order came in a box, like I knew what was going to be the case with my Tail Crystar, I do recommend to pay for the value service, just so then they can remove it, so then it doesn't add to your value. And luckily, I want to say, I assume that they use the box of the Tail Crystar for this, but at the same time, they crushed the panel, which I kind of knew that was going to be the case. Anyways, this is the Ultra Hero 2 Great Hero Encyclopedia. This thing is super plentiful of content in regards to the Ultra Rise Eye. I didn't want to buy the actual set. I did not want the vinyl figure. So luckily, I managed to find one sole listing of the book itself that had, like, that was basically $1 less than the original set. Even though technically retail wise the full set sells for $14, but you can, on Mercari Japan, you can see this set go for like $7. So I basically got it for $6.43, I believe. And basically, you know, with the service fee of like $3 and such. This one again was $12, like $12.49 or something. I basically got this for $15. And then for the Teo Crystar, I basically only got this for, I believe it was like $23 and such. Without the panel, this would have just been $18. But with the campaign bonus, it was an additional $3, and then you have to pay for shipping to the JPFans warehouse for another 300 yen. So, again, I would have gotten more, but because I managed to score this, I'm content with the amount of content I'm going to be able to access. However, I realized that because I got this, I actually did not need the panel, because the Ultra Cosmo records for these two are actually the same as this Ibuki section, and the Zero Cosmo Rise here is the same as this record, but because of a video that I'm gonna do in regards to the Ultra Cosmo records by the end of the year, I will keep the panel, because originally I was so close to canceling my Amazon Japan order because it wasn't shipping out, and I was going to cancel it and just get the Teo Crystar. However, just to kind of minimize the shipping, because then it would have only just been like a smaller box as opposed to having to deal with that and such. But honestly though, I'm actually kind of glad that I have the panel, because right after this got shipped out to me, I actually got the last stock, or the last like stock that Amazon Japan themselves had, because now they only solely have third-party stock. So honestly, I consider myself lucky, because to get this thing by itself, it's $12, which I don't think it's really worth it, especially because you can get these two sounds from this for more value, basically. So I'm really content with this, and again, I just wanted to film this quick addendum to a video that I actually managed to get down to under an hour. Now it's going to be an hour 20. So, yeah. Now that'll have to do with this video. This is Ryder, and I'll leave you people. Bye.